views and opinions expressed on Geeks Under the Influence are that of the panelists and not of our sponsors, Amazon.com and TeePublic. Parental discretion is advised.
When the family and I left Shang-Chi, I was talking to them about an article I had read previous to the release about how Marvel kind of hoped it would have the same impact now, because it was originally it was written and then shelved, and it was supposed to be out like after the 08 Iron Man. And then when they went with they realized they were going the Infinity Gauntlet route with it, Shang-Chi didn't have a place in that. So they shelved the movie. And one of the hopes with it coming out now, too, is that we'll have the same impact for like Asian culture, Asian actors as Black Panther did, which was huge.
That's exactly why Bruce Lee left America for so long. And he made so many movies over in China and Japan.
Like most of his blockbuster films that we watched
were
today.
all there because he wanted it to be realistic with the actual people involved in those areas.
Exactly.
So, and that beautiful for Shang-Chi for them to do that.
But actually my son said this, he was like, but the difference is that when they made Black Panther, there's not like a committee or an organization that runs filming in Africa. Not like Canadian Film Industry or New Zealand Film Industry. Like, it's not like huge for people to want to film in Africa. So that Black Panther was huge just for that alone.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying Shang-Chi isn't a huge step in American cinema
for representation.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, what we talked about, and like it's so awesome my son brought this up too, because he's just like aware, and he was just like, Asian cultures, they have a very strong cinema in their country. So the actors and actresses do have a chance to get roles, and and it might not be American Hollywood's budget, which this is what Shang-Chi's doing. It's like, oh no, here's the big baller fucking budget. It's #1 right now in the box office. But they still have the chance to act, whereas if you go into Africa, they really don't have that in their own country. That's the big difference, I think.
Yeah.
Americans are so like internalized as far as what they see as, if it's not an American film, it doesn't count. Like, what's his name that was in Rogue One, the I Met with the Force with me. He's had a film career for like 30 fucking years. He's like one of the most well-known actors in the fucking world. And on the red carpet for Rogue One, he was asked how it felt to like his breakout role in Rogue One.
Oh my
Jesus. He's like, motherfucker, I've been doing this for 30 years.
Did you not see Iron Monkey just like 15 years prior?
That was an amazing movie. That was an amazing movie.
I'd love Iron Monkey, dude.
But with representation, that's something that Marvel, especially Feige, has been trying to fight for since the very beginning with Iron Man. And a problem with Black Panther taking as long as it took to come out, for the reason why Black Widow happened as almost, it seemed, an afterthought, was partially due to the clashes with Ike Perlmutter, who was one of the producers early on with Marvel. Big Trump supporter, was really saying that, no, it's got to have a white male lead or it's not going to sell in the box offices. Feige threatened to quit unless Disney gave him complete control over the MCU without having to go through Perlmutter. They give Perlmutter TV to control. That's when he came out with the fucking Inhumans. Tire fire fucking show.
That dove down so hard.
And I think he's gone now, from what I think. But he basically got summarily dismissed because he was like, didn't want any budget for any of this stuff, didn't want any representation. He thought it was all horse shit.
Right.
And once he's gone, you see ripples that these movies take years to prep before they put them out. So it took years for Black Panther and Black Widow and all those movies to come out. And so Shang-Chi, I'm sure it's the same thing, why that was on a shelf. Because nobody's going to watch a mostly Asian movie.
I mean, that was probably the thought. Like, we just started this, like, no one's going to spend money, and, it's not, because they're worried about blockbusters. And, like, every Marvel movie is pretty much raking in gold.
Americans hate epic action sequences and fantasy whimsy.
But what we're seeing now is it's a call to action on the pretentiousness of American Hollywood.
Yep.
And
absolutely.
That's where we're at with this, and that's awesome.
Well, I'm excited that maybe America opens up a little bit more to more foreign films, getting more major releases in the States. Let's do the intro so we can get on with this, because there's a lot to unpack with Shang-Chi. Not just the social conversation, but I mean just on the most basest of levels, just a fun, entertaining Marvel superhero film.
So fun.
It's a fucking blast. And so a reminder that if you have not seen Shang-Chi, And that's probably the closest to properly pronouncing it. I'm going to get this entire episode.
I got you. I'll fix
Yeah.
it.
You were saying
the
beforehand-
white boys are going to have issues with this. Look, the whole episode.
I can only,
Everyone but me.
I can only try to get the inflection
You're not a
right
white
so
boy,
much
though.
before
Yeah.
it sounds like I'm being racist.
I'm gonna do my best.
I'm going to do my best to...
the guy with the 10 rings. That's what we'll...
Yeah, the guy with the 10 rings, yeah.
Yeah, that's-
the 10 ring dude, Sean.
Yeah, Sean.
Just call him Sean. There you go. Just call him Sean. It's fine. Just call him Sean.
So,
There you go.
welcome to this episode of Geeks Under the Influence, spoiler-heavy episode
was about
all
to
about the guy with the 10 rings.
There you go.
Welcome.
Things at work and shall be again. A changing of the guards, the tides marching in. You think you can hold out, but you know you're wrong, so you better join us now. You better do it fast, or you will be dead. Light up, you know the gun, 'cause it's paralyzed the dead. You play it safe.
Woo!
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm so excited to talk about this movie. This is the first movie that we're being introduced to a new title character. We got introduced to Black Widow's sister in the Black Widow movie. but
Right.
This is the first new Avenger, basically, that we're meeting post Endgame, coming out fucking swinging. Holy
right.
shit.
Right.
Oh.
No, you had it.
a new character, but also, like, I saw a huge expansion in the Marvel Universe with this.
Oh, yeah, big time.
One thing that I hope they could tie together in the cinema is, like, so this is another mystical place, unlike Kung Lao and Iron Fist. Like, I'm just like, can we get, like, some of that?
Does every
Right?
mountain in China have a mystical realm with dragons?
There,
Like, is
there-
that-
there's some weird gates going on in the mountains of China. That's all I got to say. But I think in just about every phase of Marvel, like they have pulled out a title character that was not mainstream and have fucking made him
a lot in
mainstream.
Guardians. With Guardians and
Thor,
Phase,
well,
that was a
Thor
lot.
technically phase one because Thor was kind of a side character anyways. He was one of the original Avengers in the comics, but he was never like I'm going to go get the new Thor. No,
Mhm.
no.
Yeah.
Then you had Guardians and then can't even think of really any others.
Oh,
Like not like low
Black
title.
Panther was huge, but I think that was big for the cinematic universe. What they did with that film. Well, going back
the
to that.
cinema part was
like-
huge, but Black Panther was still a big
No,
name.
That's what I'm saying. It kind of during that time. I mean, you kind of can drop it down to Netflix. You got Luke Cage.
Oh,
You
for
got
sure.
that
Yeah,
stuff,
Luke Cage.
you know.
Yeah.
And then until Disney fucked that with that. Never mind.
Well,
I won't be
anyways.
angry
But yeah,
about that.
let's announce who's on the panel first so we can just really get into this. First off, to my left, my partner on Deeply Upsetting, the host of Deeply Upsetting and a partner in life. As Style Weekly calls her Bickett's girlfriend.
Yeah. My claim to fame.
Oh.
So insulting.
Oh.
God,
That's what I
cringy.
wish everyone called me.
Oh,
I got you.
Just,
I got you.
Oh no!
Oh,
Fuck! I fucked myself.
You already said it now.
Yeah.
You already said it.
Every once in a while, we're just
God.
gonna throw it out there.
That's
and
fair.
There
No,
you go.
I deserve that. That's fair.
She has an actual name
I
and
do.
is a showrunner on the network from
So
Deeply Upsetting. We've got
insulting.
Amy Bogarde here.
Hi.
Deeply Upsetting, unfamiliar. We talk a lot of shit and tangent really
Yeah.
hard, and it's very fun.
It's some fun nonsense.
Yeah.
It is.
People ask questions, we answer them,
Sort of.
sort of.
Those 3 a.m. thoughts, if you will.
Pretty much,
Yeah.
It started with us deciding which Taco Bell food item you'd most want to have sex with.
That's what was
That's
asked
the
to me
origin story.
out at like Ensu one night. It was like, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And a show was born.
And a
Yeah,
show was
no
born.
shit. I'm like,
Ta-da!
oh, God. Yeah.
Speaking of birth, the gentleman that has an entire
Whoa.
show about being in charge of something birthed, the Geek Father himself.
Really great transition
tried
there.
to treat-
Wow.
That
Transition.
segue was rough, bro.
That was
About as rough as being a parent, and you can hear all about that.
oh, my
Better.
God.
Better.
It's better.
Better.
With Kyle Smash, we've got the original Geek Father.
Who am I?
I was trying to remember.
What the hell?
No. I was trying to remember if we had a new nickname for you. If you're just going with Scotty P now.
Well, Scotty P.
I'm sorry,
because
my brain is fried, dude.
It's the. I announced it on a Geek Fathers episode. Hey guys, what's happening? By
Hey,
the way, I figured Scotty Big Daddy or whatever it was. I was like, that's sounding a little too perv when we're talking about our kids.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll just go with Scotty P.
Yeah.
There you go.
Solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, Big Daddy. Yeah, Scott. It was like,
But it was one of my nicknames rolled over from here.
Yeah.
So you know.
true.
Yeah, but no, Scotty P. From the Geek Fathers plural now.
Yes.
You've gotten Kyle Smash to join your ranks on that
Fuck
show.
yeah.
Sucker.
So if you want to hear about geeky
Yes.
parroting, check out Scotty P and Co.
It is a horny nickname, I've got to say, to have it on the Geekfathers. I'm seeing it now.
Yeah.
I'm putting that piece together.
It all comes together somehow.
Speaking of horny, the chocolate voiced stallion of GUI is next on the panel.
Talk about getting nicknamed.
That's a great segue.
Jesus Christ.
The ASMR crowd comes every time he opens his mouth.
Ooh.
Wow.
Hey, all right. I'll take it.
The velvety tones of Lowdown Brown MacGyver.
What's going on, all you freaky fucks?
You will take it. You will.
Take it and give it.
Ooh.
Fair.
It's 50-50.
Generous
It
lover.
is, yeah.
Generous lover.
If you're going to take, you got better give too.
That's what I'm saying.
There you go.
That's right. Now, I'm super stoked to talk. Great. We have a great panel for this. I'm super stoked.
This is going to be a silly fucking episode. I can tell already.
definitely.
Yeah.
It's going to be those episodes where it's silly, but we're still going to, I think we're just going to touch on a lot of solid, just solid stuff that came out of this movie, honestly.
Well, let's say, because Black Widow, as much as we love it, this is the first big MCU kicking it after like a year and a half
Since
of quarantine.
Well, no, since Far From Home.
Far From Home.
Right.
Right. You got to include the Sony cousin.
That was tying up loose ends from Endgame
big
a little
release
bit.
was
Right.
Endgame.
Same with Black Widow, I feel, was still tying up some things, getting things set up for the next round.
Like the fucking final cuts, like credit scene.
Sure,
like the whole
yeah.
movie was like a gap telling a story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I enjoyed the movie, but it definitely was just like a, hey, this happened between this and this. Hey.
To me, it
Yeah.
would have been Black Widow would have been better to be actually shown in that proper
After
timeline.
Civil War?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. But
But anyway.
but Shang-Chi basically is kicking off the next phase,
Yep. I
which
agree.
is, and it's been glorious.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
been fucking glorious.
It was a great film to pick to actually be the first release for the new phase.
Yep.
Right.
Honestly, I've got to go with that. And the man who put us all together,
For
hope
better
you-
or for worse.
I hope you look in the mirror some days and like, what the fuck did I do?
I do that most mornings, honestly. Yeah.
That's fair.
And
The
it's
man,
usually after I overtrim one side of my beard, I go, what the fuck did I do? And then I have to...
the man who just questions his existence sometimes, or apparently every morning, Michael Bickett.
I think it's healthy to keep yourself in check by just going like, this is what we're dealing with today. Okay, cool. Cool. This is fun for me.
Yeah,
I no longer
yeah.
need an alarm because I'm woken up by the guttural screams of a man looking in the mirror and wondering
Is it
what
like the
he's
Wilhelm
wrought.
scream?
Yeah, exactly. He falls down every morning.
what was what's his face from SNL? And gosh darn it, I'm worth it when he's talking in the mirror.
Oh yeah.
I'm beautiful.
Mango?
I'm smart enough.
The mango?
No,
couldn't
that
have
was
the
Chris.
No, that
Kattan.
was
Chris Kattan,
Stuart
yeah.
Smalley.
Yes,
Yeah,
Stuart
yeah.
Smalley.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like I'm
I'm
like the,
smart
the
enough.
mirror dimension version of Stuart Smalley,
Oh,
where it's
fuck
like
yes.
you're a piece of shit, you're garbage, nothing you do matters, and then I just walked to my desk to remotely check in for work. Yeah,
That's your pep talk.
here bringing all the laughs. I am Mike the Hobbit.
We're laughing.
Seriously.
I'm sorry you're not.
We went from horny Lowdown entrance to
just a
very
bucket full of
sad.
ennui.
It's
Yeah.
a different horny. It's kind of like the crying game over here. You know?
The Crymaxing kind of thing.
Crymaxing. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I'm Mike the Crymaxer Bickett on
Yeah, there we go.
the show. Yeah,
There
That's
we
a great
go.
new nickname.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Crymaxer sounds like the band that opens for 30 Seconds to Mars. Crymaxer.
Oh my god. Solid.
Yeah.
I'm just glad I'm not getting the nicknames anymore after all this shit. God damn.
It goes hard.
It's
Yeah,
going real
yeah.
hard.
So speaking of going hard, segue.
Oh, man.
Shang-Chi is
What?
starts off where I love that there's this really nice balance between the first Marvel movie that we ever saw as Iron Man, where he's super rich and he's got these fancy cars and he's dropping off his car at valets all the time to come to Shang-Chi, and he is a valet. He's
Right.
working this like menial job with Aquafina. They're best buds. They are doing the things that I did when I was cooking, where you get off of work and then you just go fucking do shots and party with your coworkers.
Karaoke.
And those literal conversations of, it's kind of late.
Yeah.
We should go to bed. Or, and just more drinks are ensued
And then obviously
whatever. Yeah.
Aladdin song thrown in.
yeah.
Oh, duh.
Yeah, was
Duh.
it Magic Carpet Ride or something?
Yep.
Like
Yeah,
that?
so
Whole
I
new
will
world.
show
Whole
you
new world.
the
Yeah. I was like, really? Yeah, but it was in fact it was a Disney movie.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, all right,
Yeah, yeah,
all right,
yeah.
all
Also,
right.
if you go to any hip bar ever with a college crowd, there will be two college kids that will go up and do a whole new world.
Oh yeah.
Really?
I mean, yeah, oh yeah. Every
Right.
time, every single fucking time, and it was different people every time that I went to Sticky Rice for fucking karaoke. There were two fucking college kids, different college kids each time, that sang a whole new world.
You got to
Wow.
remember, I worked the door at Bottom Line for like 3 or 4 years,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
karaoke was every Wednesday. I saw some shit.
I believe it.
So,
You probably heard the
yes.
whole Disney repertoire.
Fuck, I did.
As long as
God.
it's good, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I mean, I was not mad about that.
No guarantee.
Right?
There's never a
What
guarantee.
if that's that's the 1%, because it's a 99% on the tomato meter for audience score right now. The 1% is like, I just didn't care for that Aladdin song scene. That's the one thing that they're just not about.
What if it was the Eagles though? What if it was Hotel California? Like I can't do. I waited through the credits for this. Like that was
That
yeah.
Speaking of, I also love that they didn't bring in Doctor Strange as a cameo. They brought in fucking Wong.
I was waiting for
Fuck,
Strange,
yes.
and when I didn't see him, I was like, nice.
That's kind of nice.
Right.
That's
yeah,
nice.
I liked that.
it
I did
was.
too.
Because Wong fucking kicked Abomination's ass.
Oh my god.
Oh, I was about to say throw an
Dude.
Abomination. Not only the fight scene that they have, but also just
The
them talking
banter?
afterwards
Yeah.
and like just it was beautiful.
I want to ask about that. What do we think is happening there? Because it's definitely now. I think they're probably going to retcon Abomination's look. It looks a lot more like the comics than it does in
for
the original,
sure.
like
Yeah.
08
Oh wait,
version.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which I'm fine with. He's got the gill things.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Is that Tim Roth? Was that? Did we figure that out? Was that Tim Roth?
Well, he calls him by the character's name. Emil was it?
Well, that's from the comics though. That's not from the movie.
so I don't know if it'll be Tim Roth, but
Yeah.
like it's definitely the same character, quote unquote.
There's
Okay.
been rumors of Tim Roth doing it. Maybe they didn't do it for this one because I couldn't tell in the quick face shots that they had of
you know,
him.
the face does represent, even though it's monstered out, right?
Exactly. Like you would think you would still see that. I didn't recognize that, but there's still rumor that Tim Roth is doing something related to Abomination somewhere
There's
in the Marvel.
talk about Abomination showing up in the She-Hulk series.
Yes, that's what it is.
Yeah, so I could see, and it would make sense for Tim Roth to come back. I don't see him being like, no, I don't want to be involved in the Marvel cinematic
Why would you
Right.
recast? Like, why would you say no? Because Marvel money, but two, why would you want to recast
Yeah.
Abomination?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I mean,
Exactly.
So I do like that it seems that there's some kind of relationship between Abomination, like, friendly or at least co-worker type relationship.
Exactly.
Now, Abomination, from what I understand, is in the raft, like that floating prison that exists in this world. And it looks like there's prisons like on through the little like.
Well, I was about
portal.
to say it didn't look like the sanctum that they were going back to.
No,
They were
no,
definitely
no.
going somewhere else.
So what I'm thinking,
So-
and this is my theory, is that it was brought up in the beginning of Infinity War that Wong has no fucking money. Yeah, he needed a spiritual.
I was about to say
like
that.
tuna sandwich or something.
right.
And so I could totally see Wong working out where he helps out with the raft occasionally for some of the more wily of characters, and General Ross trying to do something with Abomination gets him to go out and basically kind of stretch his muscles a little bit.
Sure.
And gets Wong to go out and do it. So he ends up making a little bit of cash while doing this.
It,
Yeah.
it makes sense in the way that the Marvel universe, or the MCU, I should say, works. It makes sense.
Well, and you and I were talking afterwards about the Stinger scene where they're talking about the 10 rings and trying to figure out what they're made out of because it's not vibranium. It's definitely older than that. And we were talking about how it's probably going to tie into the Eternals.
The Eternals, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Again, that secret scene of where it's something is going on internally with the rings. Is it the internal? Is it something, or is it something in a bigger scope that they're leading to for the next bit? What would be considered the next Endgame or Infinity War story?
Well, I think the key really is in showing that there were specialized weapons that they're the protector dragon of I keep wanting to say
Talau?
It's, Talau. I keep wanting to say Tanis, which is a different mystical.
Oh
world.
yeah.
Talau, that their weapons specifically were the only ones that could get the soul suckers.
Right.
That the razor hand, What was
Razor
razor
fist.
fist.
Yeah.
Razor fist.
Amazing.
So good.
Oh,
So
Oh, that
good.
fucking truck! Holy
Dude,
shit!
truck. It was a fucking crossover,
But-
and he had spray paint.
He had to retrofit his razor fist with the actual spiritual, like
the dragon
charge-
scale
yeah.
one. Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what that
yeah.
was, right?
Hmm.
That was Drago's son from Creed 2.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah,
it
yeah,
was.
yeah,
It
yeah.
took me a second, but I was like, "Oh, the
I
beard."
knew, I
Yeah.
knew he looked so fucking
Yeah,
familiar,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then okay,
Yeah.
fucking A.
I'm glad he got another big
Yeah.
role. 'Cause-
Big roll.
Dude, that dude's fucking swole, bro.
Oh fuck yes.
But I'm assuming that the soul suckers are basically going to tie into the the deviants.
Deviants free Eternals.
Yeah.
yeah. That's
And
what I'm
I
thinking.
feel like if they're not deviants, the soul suckers aren't part of the deviant race. They're at least something relating to. They're from a different dimension that I'm sure ties in. And it even in
Yeah.
the Stinger scene, they talk about there being like a signal coming from the rings that started.
Well,
up
yeah,
when he
that's
took
what
it.
I was mentioning. Yeah,
And
exactly.
in the trailer for Eternals, it shows that something was basically summoned to Earth. That you see something like crash landing. So I'm assuming that's what calls something to Earth.
Right.
That starts off a chain of events.
Oh, this is not important at all. It was just in conversation about the Razor Fist character.
Yeah.
Is that I was also trying to figure out who it was. And so I did a little internet digging. And this also ties into some of the incredible nicknames that you've been doling out.
Yeah.
Apparently, this guy's nickname, and I wonder if it was like bestowed upon him or if he's just trying to make it happen, is Big Nasty.
No.
The more you know.
Big nasty.
Big name.
Oh,
That feels like one that you choose for yourself, and you're like, come on, guys,
that
Big
was how-
I thought that's
Nasty.
what we
Yeah.
represented. I thought that's what we called like the James River. I thought it was the Big Nasty and the Old Dirty.
speaking
Old Dirty
of,
Richmond.
speaking
Big
of
Maybe he got it
fucking
from there.
names,
Yeah, maybe.
Amy was doing some research on was it Michelle Yeoh?
Mhm.
About her ex-husband.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Oh.
That, like, no, I mean, not any kind of like weird, scary thing. It was
Oh,
more
okay,
like,
okay.
as far as names go,
Oh, God, I don't remember
Oh.
what it is now.
it was like Dick's.
It was, hold on. This is too important.
It was like Dixon Holes or something. It was like,
It was-
like
it's
legit
really bad.
that close to.
It's really bad.
Wow.
Look,
It
there was
is.
a few months back that I posted.
Dixon Poon.
Dixon Poon.
Dixon Poon.
Dixon Poon.
Wow.
Why?
Holy
All right,
shit.
not the Dicks, but Dix and Poon.
I just said Dixon Holes being like, yeah, it's definitely not that bad. Nope, it's worse.
It's
worse.
fucking
It's
worse.
there. It's there.
Could you imagine? And I'm sure, like,
Wow.
I'm sure it wasn't even thought of until like started doing jobs in the States and stuff, and people were like, I'm sorry. What's your name?
God, what a bummer to find that out. That's like when I went to middle school with a girl who had like recently immigrated, and her name was Yura Wang. She was in for a rude awakening coming to America. I felt so bad.
Also, Americans are dicks.
Exactly.
Right.
Dixon Poon, as
Dixon
it turns
Poon,
out.
yeah, or you're a wang, because
Yeah.
she could just say you're a wang. 'Cause
Yep.
you're a dick.
Your
Yeah,
order
there you go.
is ready for Dixon Poon.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
sucks so much.
That
But
sucks.
you know what? Apparently, still with a name like that, was able to land
Certified fucking
like
hottie.
certified 100% fresh Michelle Yeoh.
Yeah.
So-
Fair.
Hold on.
fair.
We also let's just be real. We also had the second largest actor in the film with Aquafina.
Aquafina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who
I mean,
is
It's a treasure.
Fuck
no,
yes.
amazing, but also when you find her name, you're like, really?
no, that's her stage name.
I know, but it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
with the way it's spelled, it's like
Yeah.
A-W.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Aquafina.
But you're like,
it's
That's her. That's her rap name. That's basically
Yeah.
her version of Childish Gambino.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
know? It's like,
She can't escape that at this point.
no,
No.
she's
No.
stuck with
it's
that.
done.
Even when she did like a serious movie like The Farewell starring Aquafina.
Yeah.
Like,
you're like,
ooh.
oh.
Yeah. Because what, was she
Yikes.
was in Ocean's 8 or something. Wasn't
that's
she
right.
with Sandra
Yeah.
Bullock as well?
That was
yeah.
actually not bad.
It was so
it was
fun.
done
Yeah,
well.
I enjoyed
The
that.
big difference is that you talk about Childish Gambino in acting. It's Donald Glover. He did not allow
True.
that
True.
to
Yeah, yeah.
go
he,
into.
did, he did keep them separate. You're
Yes,
right.
he
You
kept
are
Even Lady
correct on
Gaga
that.
did that. She's credited as Stephanie
That's
Germanotta
true.
for A
Yeah,
Star
it
is
was the
Born.
last one she did. With
Star is Born.
Yeah.
Now, as far as
yeah.
the greatest name comes from, what is it? The series with MJ in it that you watched.
What?
The
HBO series with,
with Zendaya in it.
Zendaya, yeah.
Oh, uh-huh.
The HBO series.
I think it's no. It's a
Euphoria?
character. No, it was a character from Shrill. An actor from Shrill.
Oh, ER Fight Master?
ER Fight
Coolest
Master
name of
is
all
the
time.
I've
name.
seen. I've
Coolest name
seen
of all
that name.
time.
Yes. yes.
E.R. Fight Master. So it's like the ER Fight. Fuck. That is the most rad name I've ever heard in my entire fucking
And
life.
what show
That
is
so
this?
Shrill.
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 I think
yeah.
that's their first role ever, but I don't know if that was like a birth name or a chosen name.
Okay, because
Yeah.
I was when
Yeah.
he mentioned
Yeah.
her, Zendaya, I was like, well, Euphoria. That was
Oh
like,
no, yeah,
well,
no, it was
No,
Shrill.
no, it wasn't
He's just
Euphoria,
thinking
but-
of shows that I watch that he doesn't. Just going through that laundry
the
list.
yeah. But no, it's Shrill. It's a character in there that the actor's name is ER Fight Master.
Coolest
which is
name ever.
Just
Yeah.
the fucking coolest.
Ooh.
But let's get back onto the
Yeah,
actual.
I got a hard.
Speaking
I got,
of
I'm gonna
Fight Masters,
do a hard,
yeah.
I'm gonna do
you
a hard
know.
turn here. So this is still early in the movie. What was the better scene to the other panelists?
Ooh.
Was it the train scene from? There's a train scene from what was it? Spider-Man 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There's the ship scene from Spider-Man Homecoming,
Okay.
and there's the bus scene from Shang-Chi.
Ooh.
Right? Come on.
Okay, well, if it comes to
Yeah, you're welcome.
the best for face acting, that's going to go to Tobey Maguire
Spider-Man 2.
because he's
True.
landing 1,000 faces at the same
The
time.
amount of like I'm I make an ugly face when I come. Looks that he's doing when he's holding the train in front and with the webbing.
Oh yeah.
It's just a lot of.
That's a
face.
painful
I mean, it
cum,
looked
dude.
like he shit his
Didn't
tights.
feel good.
Yeah.
No.
He shit his tights hard in that.
Oh,
movie.
100%.
There's poops in them jammies.
And
Yeah.
then everyone
Yes.
lifted him.
Yeah.
You're like, oh,
I just got diarrhea on their hands.
I got some juice. I got some juice.
God.
Yeah, they didn't want to name him because they were like, "Ooh, he pooed on me."
No one speaks of what happened here.
Yeah. No, but I mean, there are both two very just like ass clenching scenes. Especially, I mean, like even the
Ass
ship scene
clenching.
with Vulture, like
Clearly didn't work very well.
He's trying to hold the ships together. You're like, all right, dude, that's baller status.
Yeah.
Like,
It
really.
is that it's
know?
pretty legit, but I don't know, man. Shang-Chi really he took it hard on
That
that
was
one,
awesome.
and
It
that
kind of
was
beat the transport scene in Deadpool 2, in my opinion. Like the transport scene
Oh,
with
yeah.
Deadpool,
I
right?
agree,
You know?
yeah.
And that's another one. Like that's the most recent comparable
I
one.
think
Right.
The choreography is so much better. And what I loved about the bus scene too, and I called it when we were watching the film, is that there's a scene where you're looking from the outside of the bus and you can see through the windows, and there's this like side scroll moment that is so 100% a send off to Old Boy.
Oh, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Totally
Yes.
doing
So-
the
it was so
hallway
good.
scene from Old Boy. It's
So fucking good.
It can't not be a send up to that.
Well,
Yeah.
It's so perfectly.
I'll stick to Shang-Chi at this point with the bus scene. But let me also just say, which will reference the rest of the show as well, there are so many throwbacks to some of the best kung fu movies
Oh my
in this
God.
fucking film. So many, especially like I know Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
That was
one of
when
the
that's
top
when
ones.
Mom and Dad at first
Well,
meet.
Michelle Yao, you know, is
But no, but like when they first meet,
oh yes,
like that is all Crouching
We're-
Tiger, Hidden
oh
Dragon.
yeah,
right
just
there.
Yep.
That
the
is
gliding
We said that
and
immediately.
everything.
so beautiful, so beautiful,
Stunning.
Done,
dude.
done.
Her being able to like control the elements with her kung it was so moving. Like
you can
I
say with
truly
her kung
loved
fu,
it.
it's okay.
I know.
Her
I
kung
just
fu was
got
strong.
ahead of myself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got too verklempt.
I
I
was
couldn't finish
amazed
the
at that
sentence.
fight scene because again, you know,
So good.
He is all aggression and anger.
Right.
She's just like, no, not today, and it just kind of moves him around. You're
Well,
like,
well,
holy shit,
and
this is
that,
beautiful.
that comes full circle at the end when
Oh, yeah,
when
yeah.
the aunt is showing Shang-Chi what to do, and just all she does is really just open his hands when he's making a fist.
And
But
yeah.
you know,
And I
he's
don't wanna
doing
jump around too much, but
Right.
we've kind of been doing that. But like,
Yeah.
Scotty's
Sorry.
right. Like when he finds out that you know there's a whole other side of him that he doesn't know about. All he knows is his dad, and that's how he's been fighting, which does well for him.
Oh yeah.
But when he finds that when he enters and meets his aunt and the people that live there, and he realizes a whole other side to him, he truly becomes himself once he learns and masters his mother's style.
kind of like
Yep.
And now he
Yep.
is like the ultimate fucking
The
master.
balance of the
Yep.
two.
Yeah, and it was so rad the way they did that.
So
It was So
cool.
rad.
So is this like coming full circle like a ring?
Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
why did he do that but instead of you? You shame yourself. Hang your
trying
head.
to- I was trying to look up the name of the
Hang.
genre. Crouching Tiger, House of Flying Daggers. There's
Empire was it called Empire? That's really good too. with Jet
Oh
Li.
yeah, Empire is good.
Yeah.
That's one that has a similar.
But there's genres of like martial arts where it has like basically a romance that happens with martial arts in nature. It's like I forget the.
It's more like dance choreography.
Yeah.
Than
It's
anything
more like
else. Yeah.
because like when they first meet his parents, it's
It's
kind of
flirtatious.
sexy. Yeah,
It's
like
very
it's
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
foreplay
oh,
as
we
hell.
about to get our fuck on.
Oh
right?
yeah, There were definitely
Yeah.
bedroom eyes happening
Yeah.
at one point.
The
you know,
chemistry
it's
was
like
amazing.
But it was kind of weird, and I'm glad they didn't the actor didn't do the same look when he did it with his son. I was like,
Yeah.
he was
I
more
had that
angry.
thought too. I had that thought too.
Please
Where I'm
don't
just
look at you like you want to fuck him. Please, please don't.
They like spin around and he just like gently strokes the edge of his face or something. Oh no!
No, he just took a dirty, dirty, dark turn.
Anyways, back to the movie.
that is an entire considered a genre in martial arts films, that there's this setup in these movies where there's like a very heavily nature scene with like male and female characters that are fighting one another, and it's kind of sexy in that moment. And yeah, they 100% did that in this movie, which was so fucking lovely. A nice little
Well,
send
it was
up.
beautiful, and what it does is, because we were talking about the way flashbacks work, as well to how it works and doesn't work for some movies, to show the story of this, you know, for that intensity of that romance and how it affected things, and as you're seeing in certain flashbacks, how it
She'll find out
affected.
till later.
Right. How it had affected more than you actually think was what's happening with the main plot line.
Yeah.
You know, this is where they did the flashbacks appropriatly.
It was in the right part of the movie.
Absolutely.
It was at a critical moment of the film.
To still tell the current story, but show the right reflection of why that occurred.
Now, I love the initial scene with nature and all that between the father and the mother, but honestly, when you get to where Shang-Chi actually enters and he meets his aunt, and then he goes to her, it's like, my mother beat him. I need to learn her style to beat him. And when she uses it, it's definitely like body movement, but she just basically uses nature to fuck him up. She
Oh,
she
yeah.
uses a bunch of leaves to throw his ass across the fucking island, dude. Like
Right.
that took that sexuality out of it and just so like, no, this is a fucking force to be reckoned
Exactly.
with. And I
Yeah.
love that
Exactly.
too.
Yeah.
Oh, I did too. But just going back to what Scotty was saying about the placement of the flashbacks being perfect, that was one thing that I felt was really notable about this movie was for a 2 hour and 15-minute movie, the pacing was impeccable.
Yep.
Like
Very much.
I agree.
Every fight scene felt appropriate in length, even though some of them were really long. I felt like every moment was so well crafted and like perfectly choreographed, like everything else in the movie, that it just, I mean, I was truly riveted every second of
every
this
second,
movie,
yeah.
and that is partially because of the pacing.
And I've got to, I actually have I got to bring this up, and he's probably going to get pissed at me because I brought this up, but we recorded a Madness the night before we were recording this. And of course, if you Hunter and I talked about Shang-Chi because we haven't seen each other since we both had seen it.
Yeah.
And he thinks the third act drags.
What?
We
Really?
actually spent like a good chunk of our recording time discussing
Lord.
how the fuck it did not drag.
Are we gonna scrap?
Oh.
F you, Hunter. It's on site.
Oh, shit.
I'm sure I know exactly what part of the third act that
It's when
he's
they
talking
first
about.
get into
Yeah,
the...
but here's the thing: is if you look at even the wheel of the hero's journey, that is part of
That's,
the
it's a
fucking
hero's journey.
Exactly.
That's what I'm trying to
It's
say.
basically
it's a
the
fucking hero's
preparation
journey.
for war. You have it. You have it in those. Even in fucking Game of Thrones, when they're waiting for the White Walkers to come, there's that moment of silence episode where they're all
Right.
preparing
Yeah.
for the things
And that
to
was
come.
half the length of this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That set up they're getting ready for fucking war, and I was riveted by that because you're also learning about this world at the same time.
Exactly.
They had
Yeah.
to make you care about the people.
Yep.
They told the story of the dragon and the souls. Like there was so much there
Yep.
that made that final battle scene matter. Besides just him fighting his dad.
Right.
Well,
exactly.
yeah,
You know,
of course.
like-
Well, we knew that was going to happen anyway.
No, but I mean, like ultimately, if they hadn't have done that, it would have been like him fighting dad.
Right.
And that's
Right.
it. They added so much to that.
to FU Hunter, though, the Infinity Gauntlet has been thrown down for that
Oh.
nonsense that he's talking.
Nonsense.
Oh.
Nonsense.
He was just like, the
Nonsense.
third act dragged. I'm like, I don't
What?
see that, dude.
I don't
I don't
agree.
see
But
that.
that
dude.
was some of the richest storytelling throughout the whole movie.
I
Yeah.
dragged for him. He said, I'm just
when
saying.
you can tell the story, just
I told him I was gonna like have
with
to
not
call him
just
out, 'cause
expose
that was
him.
some bullshit. That's some
Oh,
bullshit.
I'm
I
gonna
was
have to smack his old ass.
Yeah.
no, but
Damn.
I literally said what Hobbit said. Like that's he went through. Literally, Shang-Chi went through the hero's journey.
Yeah.
And he had to
Right.
for it to matter at the end.
Yep.
You have to go through that.
This is the great thing that and Marvel kind of does this, whether they do it on purpose or not. But another reason why it's a great introduction into the next phase of the MCU is that where you're doing that, where we know who the hero is, you learn about what he is, but he purposely left the good life, so to say, to do his thing. And even though he could walk right back in and be like, I'm back, bitches, and be able to do whatever he wanted, he didn't, and still went against his father, who was trying to bring him back into the fold.
Yeah, he had a little rum
Yeah.
springer.
Oh, yeah.
well,
Fuck yeah, dude.
He actually went against his father from the get. He didn't like willingly leave. He was told to leave, and then he's like, "Fuck you! I'm not doing this, and I'm not coming back either." Like he was told to go kill the person that killed his mom.
Right. Well, he chose
You know.
not to go back after whatever happened.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But I mean, like he didn't like. Yeah, he chose that. He's like he could have easily gone back.
Well, no, that's what I was saying. If I said it wrong, I apologize.
No,
but that's what I was
I'm
meaning.
not, like,
he
arguing with you.
purposely
I'm
sat.
just- yeah.
He purposely sat there and was like, "Fuck this shit. I'm doing
my dad,
thing
my
here."
dad
Yeah.
showed me to do this shit.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
should do it because you're the one that fucking wasn't here. I'm a fucking 8-year-old boy. Because remember, he blamed him. I'm like,
Yeah, of course he did.
motherfucker, fuck you narcissistic piece of shit.
Yep.
Right.
Fuck you, dude.
Exactly.
That is like
Your
the
kid
worst
was like 10
stereotype.
years old. What the fuck's he gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry.
One thing that I will say after I just made the point myself about how great the pacing was, I will say that the one thing I wish that they would have expanded on just a little bit, like just a one sentence, one off kind of thing, is how the fuck did this kid make it at 15 in San Francisco by himself? Like after running away.
They kind of alluded to that with the Aquafina's family. Like, remember he goes and like gets food with them.
Right.
So I think like once they became friends, how did he
Where
get
did
enrolled
he
in
live?
school? How did he get enrolled in
Plus
school?
Right.
You need a parent's signature.
How did he
for that.
know how to do that?
San Francisco also, if I remember correctly, has the biggest quote unquote Chinatown. And you could, if you have
true.
family in the old country or you can talk the language, you can basically walk in and be a part, as long as you're respectful, be a part of someone's family.
That does make
essentially.
sense.
That does make a lot more sense.
And that's a good place for us to cut it for our break. So when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about Shang-Chi, or the man with the rings.
The man with the
You
10
said it right
rings.
though. You could have just led with
Yeah.
the Shang-Chi.
It's okay.
Right.
The legend of the 10 rings.
The legend of the guy with the rings. That we're talking about on this one. Do a drunken scene or two, talk about what we're drinking, and continue this debauchery. So stick around. We'll be right back.
Coming straight from the mouths of madness, I'm Lowdown.
I'm FU Hunter.
Do you love horror?
We fucking do.
So this is a podcast dedicated to all things in cinematic horror. We're talking movies, television, composers, special effects artists. We're going to fucking cover it.
So if you love horror,
Embrace the madness.
My name is Amy Bogarde,
And I'm Mike the Hobbit.
and we are the hosts of Deeply Upsetting, where we use our expertise to answer your most upsetting hypothetical quandaries, such as what non-winged animal deserves wings?
And what body part deserves a secret mouth?
Which cryptid is the worst roommate?
These questions and more that plague you will be answered on Deeply Upsetting, available anywhere you get your podcasts and at GUIPodcast.com.
Hey guys, Scotty Big Daddy Preston here. That's right, the Geek Father, asking you to join me here every other week with friends and family of the GUI network as we go through all the trials and tribulations of being a geeky parent. So remember, join us or cry.
In a world ravaged by movie studios that keep rehashing the same things, only one podcaster has the guts to make it even worse. Join Mike the Hobbit as he traverses the internet to bring you some of the best and worst ideas for reboots, remakes, and reimaginings of some of your favorite and least favorite TV and film properties. Ideas like a John Waters He-Man movie, Fantastic Four the musical, and Aliens, done entirely with marionettes. What podcast would bring this evil upon the world? This is Smack My Pitch Up. Available anywhere you get your podcasts.
We're back for the second half of Geeks Under the Influence, all things about the guy with the 10 rings. And before we get into the rest of the episode, first off, I want to give a little bit of a shout out to a convention coming here to Richmond, Virginia. Heroes Assemble, the Con with a Cause, coming September 18th to Regency Square. There's going to be a number of celebrities joining the ranks of this convention. It's a con that benefits the Geek Wellness initiative, which talks about mental health in the geek community.
Right.
That geek culture definitely draws a lot of people that distract them from the challenges of everyday life, and so it is important to have that conversation about like your proper mental health.
Absolutely.
Taking care of yourself.
That is a conversation that needs to be had.
And I love that the taboo is slowly being chipped away from that
for
conversation,
sure. Yeah.
and that's what's being focused on here. And the convention, there's a laundry list of celebrities. You can just check out Eventbrite or type in Heroes Assemble, the Con with a Cause on Facebook to get the link to the information. $30 a ticket, September 18th, Regency Square. Check it out. It's for a great cause, and there's going to be a lot of celebrities, including people like a bunch of Power Rangers. Artemis from Stargirl is going to be there. Black Canary on Arrow is going to be there. There's and the guy that plays Colossus in Deadpool 1 and 2
oh,
is going to be there as well. Yeah, so there's some
Nice.
really
Yeah.
cool guests.
Very cool.
Just wanted to give a quick shout out to Geek Wellness for doing that. That's
So-
very cool.
At the
Fuck
very
yeah.
least, go get your geek on and try to help a good cause.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
And then onto our sponsors, of course, is Amazon.com. If you want to dig into the comics of Shang-Chi or any of the upcoming Marvel movies, the Eternals, or any other stuff we're looking at with the multiverse,
Right.
you can do that by getting your comics or your animated Marvel movies or what have you through Amazon.com. Just make sure you go through the link at GUIPodcast.com. There's a link on the front page and also in our links section. Go through that link, and anything you purchase, we get credit for. So it allows you to get all the stuff you're already getting from Amazon. I just bought this awesome little thing for my different types of salt I have. I have Himalayan pink salt, I have sea salt, I have kosher salt, getting some flake salt in the mail.
Fancy motherfucker.
And so I needed a little tin for all the different types of salt that I use for my different stuff.
I'm pretty excited about it.
I'm excited about it too. Steven's looking at me like I'm an idiot, which I'm used to. But also,
I was about to say, why are you stopping to tell us that something we already know?
I didn't mean for it to come across as looking at you like an idiot.
it's more like, why do you need that many types of salt?
More like a madman.
Oh yeah. But that's kind of the fun thing is that I found this thing that was like, I don't know, it was like $8 or $10 for like 4 little containers that I can pinch whatever amount of salt I want out of the different containers, readily accessible on my counter.
Yeah.
But yeah, just check that out through our links at GUIPodcast.com. Then our other sponsor, and there's some new fucking stuff coming out on TeePublic.
Yes.
That I'm excited about.
Yes. My son wants one of them. Oh.
Amy, we've got one from Deeply Upsetting that just dropped.
We do. Yeah, the Manatee Mercenary.
Manatee Mercenary.
Very important.
The manatee wearing a Rambo-style bandana with Born to Kill tattooed into his body.
See, when I saw the bandana and the Born to Kill, I just thought it was the manatee fucking Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
A general mercenary. So it's just kind of pulling from a couple different sources.
It's got Born to Kill on its side.
I know.
That's Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah.
Which, hilarious. I was like, this is ridiculous.
Yes. Correct.
If I knew how to do animation, I would totally do a manatee going, like, I'll give them a war they won't believe. But I don't.
Love that manatee impression.
That's how
Spot
manatees
on.
talk, actually.
Is that how they talk?
That's
Is
exactly like that.
Okay, good God.
That's available. There's,
don't
of
know.
course, one becoming pretty popular, the He-Man logo GUI.
It's fucking
logo.
rad,
It's
dude.
Really cool.
Shit's fucking rad.
Yeah.
That's doing pretty well.
I
There's,
got to put in my order soon on that one.
well, and speaking
They're
of
on
orders,
sale right now.
yeah, and speaking of orders, all of the Halloween limited release shirts are now available on our site. So
Yeah, I've been pushing that shit too because I'm like, you get the Michael Myers with the fucking beer hat.
Alcohol-Halloween.
Alcohol-Halloween. You
Yeah.
get the Nightmare on Elm Street ale.
Yep.
You get the fucking.
I like
you get
Ouija board the best.
Ouija
That's my
board.
favorite.
Ouija
board is a
board.
good one,
That's
yeah.
because we look like dumbasses.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So dumb.
Ouija board.
That might
You
be
also
why.
get the Join Us or Die fucking cube.
Oh yeah, the
Bop it.
Bop It. Yeah,
Yeah.
the Hellbox Bop It.
Yeah, it was. That's hilarious.
Twist
Yeah.
it, turn it.
It's so.
Oh God.
There's some winners
There's
over there
some
for sure.
dumb shit we have on this
Right.
website, but
No, but it's all fun and like it's probably going to be up through the rest of the year. That's usually when we leave it up. We leave it up through the holidays generally.
Yeah.
But that only gives you a few months to get it, and a few months go by quick. And I say a few months, but a few months go by quick.
Especially those
And-
months.
yeah.
And for those of you that are starting to do the Christmas shopping already this time of year, now would be the time to get it, because shipping already takes long enough for the shit we've been dealing with for the past year and a half.
This holiday
These
season's gonna be
companies are
fucked, dude.
getting them out as quickly as they can, and it's not, shit is delayed.
and I'll tell you,
period.
out of the sales, even the holiday sales, the cheapest you're going to get is the 35% off that gets those T-shirts down to about the regular T-shirts down to about
14?
$13.
13 or 14.
Yeah, 13, yeah.
Super cheap. Yeah.
So we're going to have sales between now and the holidays. If you see it down to $13, don't wait for the holidays for it to get cheaper, because that's the cheaper they're going to get. Which is, $13 for a shirt. It's not bad. So
No.
But yeah, TeePublic, go to GUIPodcast.com/store or just click on the TeePublic link on the homepage. That'll send you to us to the store where you can look at all the, definitely over 40 designs with all the holiday stuff.
We have 2 pages now.
Yeah.
2 pages.
2 pages. Yeah.
2 pages.
2 pages.
So definitely tons of options for you. I'm going to be buying some new hoodies for hoodie weather coming out.
Yeah, I've already.
yeah.
I'm going to take advantage of the sale and get a couple hoodies.
I love the Falcon and Winter Soldier design for the GUI podcast
yeah.
logo.
I'm getting.
and,
I want a hoodie. So I want a GUI hoodie, and I'm going to do the Falcon Winter Soldier in hoodie form. I'm going to do the He-Man one. So TeePublic also has a new eco-friendly shirt. Listeners, I don't know if you guys are listeners have seen that. It's been a while maybe since you've been on that page, but they have an eco-friendly shirt.
Nice.
And I want the He-Man design or Masters of the Universe design on that and kind of give it a trial. See how it holds up. See how the design holds up on
Actually,
the
Masters
shirt.
of the GUI Universe is the name of that shirt.
Anyway, I'm going to buy that on the shirt just to see how the design holds up, because I'm all for it, because it's the polyester is from recyclable plastic.
Yeah.
Right.
And
I have seen that. I just
I'm down for that.
Yeah,
It costs a little bit more, but on sale, it's still, you're saving like $10 for the shirt.
easily.
It just
Yeah.
costs more because
But yeah, all that stuff's available. Like, check out, and there's, button stickers, magnets, coffee cups,
Tapestries,
mugs, all sorts of stuff.
Pillows.
Pillows, yes. Yes, Scotty, pillows.
Yes, Scotty. 2 years ago, someone bought a pillow with your face on it.
Yes, they did.
Oh my god.
And I'll never let it die.
Like, that's...
People need to start posting their GUI stuff from TeePublic.
Yeah,
like,
fucking
I would
hashtag us
love-
GUI podcast or
yes.
GUI network with your GUI designs.
That
We
would be
love to see them.
awesome.
We'll post them on
Awesome.
our social media.
Fuck
Absolutely.
yeah, we will.
Yeah, you tag us, we share it.
Absolutely.
And everybody wins.
Yeah.
everybody wins.
And we share the shares.
Yeah, we
So-
share the shares. Everybody
Yeah.
wins.
Yep. So do that, please. Now on to the thing that really fuels this show.
Yeah.
It's all the booze that we imbibe on a regular basis on a segment we call What We're Drinking.
Hey, we're fucking drinking. We're getting drunk. You want to know? Well, here you go. Hey,
We're drinking. We're getting drunk.
I still forget about Bo.
Bo is
Yep.
so
Yep.
like not. He's like so like okay.
He's like these assholes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like,
But yeah, what we're drinking, we didn't do a lot of planning ahead on this episode. Amy and I are dragging today, and
Of your own volition.
of our
Yes.
volition, that is
Yeah.
for sure.
true.
But Stephen was nice enough to bring a share for us to enjoy. That's pretty appropriate for this time of year.
It is.
Yes.
That's all I was thinking about. Was it's cooler, and it's not miserable to be outside. And yeah, I mean, I got an Oktoberfest, people, because you know how I feel about the fall, and how most of the GUI network feels about
Oh
the fall.
yeah,
Yes.
But I've got Masthead Brewing Company's Oktoberfest, and this is my first time having it, and it's a solid Oktoberfest. This is
Good
definitely
choice.
it is my preferred version of an Oktoberfest. I like a malt forward.
yep.
yes.
I don't like the Oktoberfest that's more of like a fest beer where it's lighter.
Yeah.
You know, this is from Cleveland, which I had no idea. Cleveland, Ohio. I did not see these guys when I was like 20 minutes outside of Cleveland a week ago.
Yeah.
But I did see, was it
Weird.
Iron something? And I got their Oktoberfest while I was up there. It was like Iron Tracks or Iron something.
Iron City.
Iron City.
Iron City. That's Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
No, then it wasn't
Yeah, Iron City is the PBR of Pittsburgh, basically.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't Iron City.
Yeah.
It was something like Iron something, but it was they had their own Oktoberfest, and I got that when I
Nice.
was up there. And
Okay.
it was brewed in Cleveland, so it must. I'm not thinking of the same.
Okay. Well, there's
Well-
iron in the names around that part of the world. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. There'd be more than one.
Exactly.
They're like the fucking Industrial Revolution.
Yeah, yeah, that's the Rust Belt right.
Right.
there. So
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yep.
what I don't know what everyone thinks about it.
It's not bad.
I like
I
it.
could definitely deal with a
I
little
dig
bit
it.
more of that malt forwardness on it.
It's not as much as I like, but it's definitely more than a couple that I've had.
Sure,
I
some
will
of
say
them are a
that.
little bit weak that I've had, but this is very sessionable. I'd be able to drink a decent amount on a nice cool fall day.
Oh,
Oh,
for us
and-
to do the outside drinks on with some of this.
Oh, and I'm waiting
beautiful.
for that like nice 65-degree weather
Yes.
outside, like sitting
Yes.
out, just enjoying some nice
Crisp.
malty beverages.
where I
Ooh.
could still be wearing my shorts, but just throw on that hoodie just for that little extra comfy, and
Yeah, yeah.
And I do want to give a quick heads up to our listeners as well for the Halloween season. We always do the spooky. We're going to be doing a little less spooky on GUI this year just because of the amount of stuff coming out around that time. We're still going to have our 31 Days of Halloween episode. We're still going to do another spooky episode as well at the beginning of like late September, early October.
right.
And then we're going to make room for like Dune is coming out,
Oh,
Venom's
Jesus,
coming out.
yeah.
Like there's a lot of stuff that's coming out in that time that we just need to make room for. So Mouse and Madness is going to be doing
I was
a lot
about to say.
yeah, it's going to be doing a lot of heavy lifting in
Hey, what's
October. Yeah. So
Well,
still-
I mean, it's not really heavy lifting.
well,
It's just
there-
like-
there's a lot of I mean Halloween Kills is coming out. I
Yes.
mean
one.
Ooh.
yeah, amongst oh my god, there's like 32 fucking good horror movies that are coming out and that
Yeah, but that's just impossible.
Yeah, no, I
So
know.
we've got like
but
Yeah.
the big ones.
the big one.
Yeah, yeah.
Halloween Kill. Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah.
I officially request to be on that one. Maybe.
I mean, you and every single other person on the
Yeah,
network.
well, I mean, Hunter and I talked about it. It's like we did with Candyman. We're probably just doing it on the chopping block where it's just the two of us, just to
Yeah,
make it
fair.
easier.
Yeah, that's fair.
So,
But what I'm saying is that basically, if you are trying to get as much horror content during the Halloween season, make sure to check out Mouse and Madness as well, because we'll be doing a little bit on GUI, but all horror all the time.
Yeah.
Mouse and Madness will
Even,
be bringing it
even,
down.
Yeah.
even Geekfathers tries to jump on that
Yep.
train, but we're like, well, we got to keep it somewhat family friendly. We'll do what we
But,
can.
yeah, all the
you
shows
could do
are
like,
doing a little
Mr.
bit.
Boogedy.
I know, deeply upsetting.
Sure.
We'll do some spooky stuff for
We'll
Halloween.
do a Nightmare Before Christmas episode maybe or something. We'll see what's up.
I didn't mean that.
Deeply upsetting is in the horror genre.
Yeah, but we love the spoopy season, and the kids love the spoopy season. So
we have moved. For those that didn't hear, Free Guy, we have moved the drunken scene to the end of the episode. So stay tuned. That's coming up. But we're just getting right back into Shang-Chi right now. And to start off, I really wanted to talk about kind of the world that they go into with the fucking protector dragon and then the crazy soul sucker dragon.
yes,
Yeah.
With
the whole mystical world.
What was
that
it just
we
called? Like
haven't
the head
touched on.
sucker, I think is what they call it.
No, the other things, it was called the soul sucker.
Soul
the
sucker.
baby ones were called like,
Something.
I don't
Little
remember.
suckers.
Yeah, something like that.
Honestly, it's one of those things because if you look at all the mythologies around the world, a lot of stuff crosses over. And if you look at the design, one of my first thoughts of just what I remember growing up with, Jabberwocky.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And again, same type of thing as stealing souls, trying to
But no, Jabberwocky.
Yeah. I
Man,
mean-
there's so much shit in the mountains in the MCU version of China. There's like the Iron Fist stuff. There's the Shang-Chi
I
stuff.
know.
I'm just really hoping that when the barrier broke down for the cavern that was like protecting him,
Right.
just Gimli would come out and be like, wrong mountain.
Long mountain.
Or Smog coming out like, my gold, and just pop his head back in.
Frodo pop out going, nope, wrong one.
Yeah, right.
Just right on back.
No,
Like,
but-
Wrong
totally.
ring. Wrong ring.
Wrong
ring.
ring. All right. Is that it?
That might be the
Wrong
name.
ring.
yeah. How did you get 10 of those?
I've had enough trouble with one.
Right.
You're walking around with 10? No wonder you're in a pissy mood.
No shit.
Understatement of the century.
Right. Well, because I really thought the big bad villain was going to be Fing Fang Foom.
Yeah.
That still may be a possibility for the next Shang-Chi movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
We did.
But I thought, again, it played perfectly as an origin for giving us the new character into this phase of the
Yeah.
MCU. It was done so well.
Well, from what I understand, Talo, the city that they're in is basically a pocket dimension.
Right.
It's not like a full dimension. It's kind of like transitory dimension between the dimension that all the creepy
gross-
soul suckers are
Yeah,
coming
yeah,
from
yeah, the nasty.
and our universe. So it's kind of a passageway that they have to get through to get to our Earth, in
Right.
the comics at the very least.
Mhm.
And there's going to be probably more conversations about what happens in this pocket universe. Are there other pocket universes, which will be the whole
Exactly.
Iron Fist mythos probably
Yeah.
as well? Is that there's a bunch of them. And that's where you can get a whole lot of multiverse crazy
I mean,
going
they
on.
had mentioned that like their land is vast, like it's a huge land of stuff. But to get into this area, there's
Yeah.
like one or two ways, and
Yep.
that's about it.
Well, I love the bird's eye view shot they give you both times with this.
Yes.
Like how that moves. Like, could you imagine a forest like chasing you?
Right.
Like, fuck
stay in
me,
the pocket.
dude.
The-
Stay
like,
in the
stay
pocket.
in the
There's one
pocket.
woman
Yes.
from Evil Dead that knows how that feels.
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
that's a little bit different.
Jesus.
That's a
That's a little bit different.
It's a little different.
Yeah.
That's a
Either
little
way,
worse.
there's
It's a
either
little
way,
bit
there's
worse.
a lot of souls being swallowed.
Yeah,
So it
no,
doesn't
but like
matter,
in
you know?
Evil Dead, it was taking some stuff.
everything.
Well, yeah, that's true too. Yeah.
But no, like the
Eesh.
bird's eye view just shows as they're driving, like the closing in on them and then shifting and like that's crazy. I can
Well,
imagine being in that.
Right.
I love the contrast between the bird's eye view when you saw them taking the passage like both times from the dad and then Shang-Chi in the present. But then I also loved the parallel of when they, put the pendants in the dragon.
Oh, yeah, and he sees
then
it
you were
in the
able to see it in the
yeah.
like grass in the ground in gold. That was so amazing.
Because it was
so
like a
beautiful.
gold, white, colorful thing
Mm-hmm.
on the ground at the house when they did that. It
And
was so
that was the moment that Mike went to the bathroom.
Yep.
And I was like, it was like the most visual. I can't
I've been
even
able to see most
explain
of it
it
at
to
this
you.
point, just from watching like reviews and stuff. where
Okay,
they
so you
hit
missed
that,
the whole water flow,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
and it,
Wow.
oh man,
I know. I was so sad. He came
Oh.
back and my mouth is like on the ground.
it was beautiful.
It
It's
was
a
really
beautiful
pretty.
scene.
My favorite was seeing the hard contrast of a chicken pig that knows directions really well, and then like lion, like gargoyle horses and
Can we talk
dragon
about
horses.
the big battle kitties, please?
And then
Yes.
in the midst of
Those
battle
battle kitties.
kitties and chicken pigs, there's just this fucking truck with razor fist and bad graffiti on the side of it.
Amazing.
As someone who
It's just so fucking the hard contrast there, pulling up in a fucking like avalanche with
Yeah.
like razor
Yeah.
fist graffiti on the side,
Oh,
and then there's
geez,
just
yeah.
a fucking like giant Battle Kitty.
There's like a battle kitty just like sunbathing and like, oh, you're new. Like, oh shit.
As much as I love Asian art, this is actually probably one of the best depictions as you've seen of that. Like the white fox with the 9 tails.
Dude.
And everything.
And the battle kitty. The battle kitty too. The face structure, that's very
everything
on
was
the
and
nose.
even from what I read, because I am by no means the expert on this shit. I just appreciate the art from this area of the
You're
world.
Right. The fox with the tails was gorgeous.
Right. From what I have read about, everything was depicted basically as accurate as you can get. Which
apparently a lot of people were mistaking the fox with the multiple tails for a Pokemon.
Oh, yeah.
There is a
Pokemon
with yeah.
Fucking
hell.
hell.
I just thought it was Tails from Sonic the Hedgehog, but that was.
Well, he doesn't have multiple tails.
He has 2.
Yeah.
He has 2.
That's not like
That
a
is
lot.
multiple.
True. But it's
Okay,
not like...
so Tails' dad is in Shang-Chi.
Sega.
Now you know where you talk about more and more rings here.
Yeah, right?
If you're gonna have
Sonic.
yeah.
So apparently there's just a thing with rings in the Asian culture. I mean, where you?
Yeah, Sonic's like 10 rings, please.
I got 199 of those bitches in the first level. Fuck you.
Yeah, right. Green Hill Zone covered.
or Sonic is like, wait, the rings do what? I got 200 of these motherfuckers.
I was just buying burritos with those motherfuckers. What the hell?
Can we can cross over? Fucking Shang-Chi and Sonic. Do they just put out the Sonic?
And Shang-Chi like 10 rings on his arms, and Sonic's just like all the way down his arm, just stacked with rings.
He can't even lower his arms. They're just being held up by rings. He's like,
he's like
what,
the younger brother in Christmas Story, where I can't put my arms down.
Yeah, no
full of rings.
Yes. Oh, wow. Oh, us.
I mean, in the era of the multiverse, anything could happen.
True.
There is so much crossover that we never knew that we needed, but apparently we do.
In reality, with Shang-Chi, so, when he realizes that his sister didn't send the invitation and it was his dad, okay, can we talk about that fight scene on the side of the fucking building?
Oh my God, we got to.
Holy fuck. Anxiety me. Like, Jesus Christ.
Wait, before we get into this, the most interesting piece of trivia that I've learned about this movie so far that is blowing my whole fucking mind is that the actress that plays the sister, the character is Shaolin, I think, this is her first movie ever.
No shit.
100%.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
That's incredible.
Talk about an
She's
introduction
amazing.
to film.
Right.
Just starting out in the MCU as such a bad
As
bitch.
in by the end of it, the leader of the 10 rings.
Yeah,
Did they interview her in a rock climbing facility or something?
Right?
Like,
I
what
know.
the fuck? How did that work?
I don't know that. I want to look into like how she got the role, but
Yeah, because that's awesome.
fascinating.
She
That's
killed it.
badass.
She's a great. I think she's a great
amazing.
character.
And just the choreography that they had to learn. I watched some really cool like behind the scenes of her and the
their
actor that
choreography
played
was
Shang-Chi
beast.
rehearsing, and they're just wearing regular clothes and masks and doing rehearsal, and it's unbelievable to see.
It's a dance. It's literally
it's incredible.
It's incredible.
It's so fast,
Well, also, what is it, Simu Liu? And I apologize for my pronunciation. My garbage Scandinavian mouth just can't do proper justice to these words. But he was in Kim's Convenience, I think, and not a whole lot else.
Pretty like small bit part kind of things.
not a lot of big parts.
Apparently, the whole thing with him is that he actually Twittered out to like Kevin Feige and like basically Marvel going, "Hey, Shang-Chi,
in like
awesome
2014,
story, I'm right here." Like, yeah, this was
he said, "Hey, Disney, we gonna talk?" And he like hashtag Shang-Chi. That's because like that they actually showed that before Shang-Chi and before what did I see before that? Candyman. Yeah, and they showed the actor saying like, "Yeah, I actually just
what they do in the
tweeted."
theater.
They love that for marketing. They're like, "Oh, fucking gold, Jerry, gold."
Yeah,
He was just like, he tweeted like, "Hey, so we gonna talk?" And then hashtag Shang-Chi. I'm like, I love you, dude, because you were like so like low key subtle, but also like swinging your dick at the same time. You're like, I can do this role. I can do this role.
well,
Clearly.
because when was the original Iron Man? 2008, right?
2008, yes.
Yeah. So even like 6 years later and 7 years prior to now, this character was still recognizable. And even though a lot of unless you were really a diehard reader of the comics, you didn't always know who this character was, but there was enough there, and obviously the right guy to sit there and go, yo, let me represent this shit proper, you know?
And not just, did a great job acting. And he was great in the role. I've no notes. He did a great job. I'm really excited to see him as an Avenger now, at the welcome to the circus line at the end. But additionally, being somebody that is the main character in a predominantly Asian cast film for Marvel, and how important that is culturally, and how much backlash you're going to get from sad, angry, toxic fans.
Oh, yeah.
His attitude is fucking perfect because he doesn't deal with any of that bullshit.
Right.
Nope.
Exactly.
He's throwing that shit right back. He's not fucking around. He has no patience for it. He has no patience about like any kind of conversation. Well, there's enough representation. Fuck you, no, there isn't. He is not being subtle about his feelings on this.
And
he shouldn't be subtle about it. And I think that's, I wouldn't say more than, just as important as his being able to do the role well is being able to be that person that can kind of hold it all together like that.
Be a hero off screen.
Yeah, exactly.
And I do have a side note, because I'm glad you mentioned about not having notes, because I really, really thought about you when I watched this movie, and it was the guy on the bus making the video. And totally like saw you.
Oh, yeah.
Totally saw you doing I took some kung fu when I was in my youth. So I'm going to make notes about this fight
I did
here
actually.
as it happens.
I took 2 weeks of Tung Soo Do in 8th grade. So
2 weeks?
2 whole weeks.
Fucking weeks.
As I've said since, is that these hands are registered minor inconveniences. So
That's so hot. You're so dangerous.
That should actually be the name of the episode.
registered minor inconveniences.
10 rings, 2 hands that are minor inconveniences.
But he's actually a recurring character because Clem was in Spider-Man Homecoming. He was at a news booth.
Yeah,
being
you're
like, hey,
right.
Spider-Man, do a flip.
Right.
Spider-Man's like, fuck yeah, I'll do a flip. And he's like, yay.
So I'm glad to see that at least Sony and Marvel are still working together after a scare.
Yeah,
at one
Sony
point.
isn't the hill they're dying on isn't retaining Clem as part of their continuity.
But I really did think of you of going, like, just that guy, just the way he was like, and I'm gonna narrate some shit. I thought of you, and it was an endearing thought. So
no, I took it as that. Yeah,
okay, good.
Because, I'm not going to get involved. Are you kidding me?
No.
The last time I tried to drive a bus, they got mad.
There's a dude named Razor Fist, and if you didn't know his name, you could probably guess it.
Right. Can you guess who the character is?
Oh, so he's got a razor for a fist. Steve.
Yeah.
Steve.
Joe.
The funny thing is, he actually was named Razor Fist before his arm got cut off. So that's what's weird about. That's not. I don't know. That's probably not true.
Don't start that. That's not a good hashtag to go with. Please no.
Like, oh, you call yourself Razor Fist? Let's see if you don't have any fist.
It was predetermined.
Yeah,
it was meant to be all along.
It's like I was always meant to have a Razor Fist. That's the prequel series that we get for Disney Plus. It's just the Razor Fist, like
Razor
origin
Fist
story.
Origin. Oh,
hell yeah!
Maybe that's the name of the episode is Razor Fist Origin Story.
Dude, that's the hashtag we should start.
Right?
Let's start that petition now.
You know the actors be like, "Fuck yeah, I'll do a Razor Fist origin
he's
story."
Like,
Who? Big Nasty? He's into
Nasty?
it.
Big Nasty will totally pull off the Razor Fist origin story.
Oh my god!
Say that 5 times fast.
I'm not gonna.
He's probably praying for it every night as it is.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's true too. But
he doesn't need this powerful campaign that we're starting for him.
Right. So, actually, I have a question, and I wasn't able to find anything out, because also the fight scene that Steven had brought up, the side of the building, which was one of the best fight scenes.
Oh, my God.
For sure.
Oh, God.
The guy, the trainer guy in the mask, who I think he does get his soul sucked.
He's
a soul sucked.
A version of, what is it, Death Dealer, I think, in the comics is what his character is supposed to be.
Is that what it's supposed to be?
I believe so.
Because it looked very, and I was waiting for kind of a reveal at one
And
point.
nothing. He just gets his soul
yeah.
sucked.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I was like, the way
He was like the first to get his soul sucked, actually.
yeah.
Yeah, his character is Death Dealer, which definitely the mask looks different in the comics.
Right.
It doesn't have that, like, kabuki mask kind of vibe.
Exactly.
I think they were
Exactly.
trying to, but they didn't really follow through with it. You know what I mean? Like it was all white with just some artwork on it, but it wasn't like kabuki
The full
style.
kabuki.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
intrigued by that.
Yeah.
Okay. I figured it was some relation to a character, but that was lacking on my part for not really double checking.
Well, Shang-Chi had his ass too, so there's that.
Uh-huh.
He'd have been
Well,
dead in that scene if the daddy hadn't cut in. I'm just saying.
I know.
I'm just saying.
It's true.
That was so disappointing.
I know. I was like, he was very sorry to kill him because he like got the shit kicked out of him his whole fucking childhood. From
Yep.
this dude,
And
man.
and one thing we haven't really brought up a
Satisfying.
whole lot at this. Okay, that's what I was
Taylor.
thinking.
It's
Yeah.
got more of a
Yeah.
skull mask thing.
So why didn't they do that? That would have been fucking rad.
I think they were trying to make more sense that this dude is like, an Asian assassin character. Why would
and not
he,
just a random skull mask.
yeah, why
or
they also
something.
had Crossbones had the
Yeah.
like the skull helmet thing.
Yeah.
So probably to get away from there being any confusion between the two.
So, and let's also say that this also brings in a good part of where the dad, because another great character that was really unexpected was Sir Ben Kingsley,
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
and the fact of
Trevor.
and how the dad explains how how Trevor got the 10 rings before you even know he's in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking, and I'm sorry, we were talking about it before, but the fact that he just point blank went, the motherfucker named himself after a chicken dish.
Right.
And we're like, and like
Well, it
what we
destroyed
said,
any future legacy for the Mandarin, and the
Exactly.
Mandarin is so badass in the
And
comics.
that would have been well. And the thing is, it could still happen, but you would have to go to like some weird grand scale of like some mystical being now, not just a dude who gets power. Who like what happened with the original Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Yeah, because another crossover that you didn't know what was going to
Yeah, right.
happen.
Oh yeah, fucking Marvel and fucking Disney and Star Wars.
Shit, you never know.
Disney, yeah, they might do that. I don't know.
But again, that could still bring it back to Fin Fang Foom.
Yeah.
Where the Mandarin is technically is the person who raised Fin Fang Foom in the comics originally as well. Granted, he had the 10 rings, but
I'm looking at that the Mandarin is one of the many titles that his father had carried over the years.
1,000-year reign with the rings.
But
So-
also
Exactly.
with the Reign of the Rings as well. Shang-Chi's sister, what's her name? Was it
Xiaolin.
Xiaolin? Is now in charge of the 10 rings. So there is something about like a torch passing thing that as far as whatever it be called, like Warrior King or Mandarin, she would be taking that role.
Well,
Right,
she
so-
is in charge of the Order of the 10 Rings. Shang-Chi has
Right.
the rings.
Yeah.
Which,
Which means, I mean,
if
if you're talking about a sequel, a struggle for power, that she's having trouble getting them to pay as much attention to her without the rings being
rings?
representative,
Yeah.
and then her having to basically
That's
try
what
to
I'm
get them from
saying.
her
The
brother,
sequel-
and
the
yeah.
sequel
well, that's
is
what I was
the-
going to say is also for the general public to tell the difference, the order of the 10 rings, and to try to educate the 10 rings separate from that, and that's where the brother and sister go head to head. Yeah.
But I did look at the 10 rings and all the different symbols within the rings on their flag.
Yeah.
And basically all of them are some different version of power. In there, there's like power of body, there's power of mind, there's power of, just different versions representing power.
She added a lotus, though, at the end.
Oh, well, I think part of that is that a lot of the symbols for power, it's the masculine symbol for power.
She added the more feminine.
And,
No, I
and
know,
you can see
I
at the
know.
end scene where she
I'm just
has like
saying.
women being trained, which they were previously not allowed to be
Yeah.
trained, which is
right.
cool.
Now,
Like
do you think that-
representation
do you think that was a
in,
late
in,
scene?
in
Because of
underground.
the mask, or is that traditional for women? Like, all the way back to Mortal Kombat, you see the women assassins always wearing something to cover their mouth, where the men really weren't. Do you think that they just filmed that end scene later, and it was during COVID, and like that's kind of where they wearing? I'm being serious, dude.
I mean, maybe.
But because if you look, not all the women are wearing masks, but not all the men are wearing masks. So I don't know if they were. I
They're
feel like
like,
if
yeah,
they're wearing masks and you're a part of an order, you're all gonna fucking wear masks.
Right.
The
yeah.
whole thing is you're also talking about thousands of years of various traditions and who is carrying on what.
And the
So a lot
image
of stuff
showed a
gets
woman in a
mixed.
mask.
Yeah.
Like, when you panned all the way out. But the lotus, I thought, was a nice touch for her, for the femininity of like, no, it's beautiful, but I will fucking kill
Right.
you.
Mm-hmm.
And what
You know,
I was
thought
gonna,
it was awesome.
What
That's
I
why
was going to
bringing it
add
up.
too was because if anybody doesn't know, the original 10 rings in the comics were actual like rings that you wore on your fingers.
Fingers, yeah.
So and
Well, that's
that
why they
is
showed in
correct.
Iron Man
It
3,
had
they
the, what, the
showed...
spirits of like previous champions or something.
Yeah,
in it?
and that's what the Mandarin did is that it kind of like what Thanos did with the Infinity Gauntlet is that you can use a general like power beam or something at somebody, but you could use what each individual ring Like if it was a certain strength or
Oh,
a certain
cool.
like
Yeah.
spirit.
And
or
that's why
something, you
in
could
Iron Man
also
3,
do that
when you
as
see
well.
the Mandarin, he's actually got all these rings
Yeah.
on his
Right.
fingers.
That
That was
to-
the original nod to
Yeah.
the actual Mandarin.
Just involved with the rings. Like, I love Shang-Chi's father's turn at the end when he realizes that he was following a false voice and
Mhm.
he was right. And he just, like, handed the rings over. Like, you need to destroy this. He could have, but he realizes that he is so gone.
Oh yeah.
But after 1,000-year reign, right? Like, he's so gone. Like, no, you
Yep.
are the best of me and your mother. Take these rings.
Mhm.
And he saw that when he fought his son and his son fought him like his mother did.
Yep.
Mhm.
And he realized, like, no, you are the best of both of us. Here you go.
Yep.
I will die. And that,
Exactly what I was going to hit is
Right?
seeing his dead wife through his son.
which is,
Being-
yes.
And he was trying to
Yeah.
literally beat that out of him when he was training his son after the mom died, trying to beat out all that emotion and connection with, he was trying to make him a trained killer. Just so to see after all of that, you still have the mom coming through at the end. It was that moment of like, okay,
Right.
and also showing that he belongs there in that city. Like
Exactly.
there is like genetically or just like from lineage, he has a place there that his father never did.
Right.
And so the rings belong to him. That legacy belongs to him.
Exactly.
That was kind of such a bummer, though, when you thought about how Shaolin says earlier on in the movie that he couldn't even like look at her because she reminded him of the mother. That like, what a shame that she could have been learning this
Yeah.
whole time how to be like the mother.
We
Whereas
talk
she,
about how, like, horrible it was for her. Like, for real,
Oh
though.
my
That's
God.
that's what I was about to bring up as
terrible,
well.
dude.
I was
and
about.
she's a badass.
Oh yeah, I
Right?
was about to, and it's no wonder that she's taking over what is going to probably turn into the bad side of the Ten Rings.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, because
She's had the bad side her whole life. She's
Right.
gotten, like, the scraps, the leftovers. This fucking sucks,
but the
dude.
way
Yeah.
she learned, and she's a badass, but if she got that proper training,
Yeah.
holy shit,
Yeah.
this movie would have a totally
And they're
different
getting into it
title.
now. I mean, she's not only getting a bunch of people trained, but like she's probably getting much better
resources.
training now.
Yeah,
Well, and the
yeah.
resources that she has, if she's supposedly dismantling the Ten Rings, but she knows where all the wealth is,
Yeah.
all the connections, all the
Her
the-
Fight Club had somebody with the extremis thing that was glowing orange
Yes.
that was fighting a widow.
Yep, yep.
Had Abomination and Wong hanging out and doing some shit. Like
Right.
there was a lot of little
She's
Easter
got
eggs.
Fighting a widow.
Yeah,
Mhm.
she was
Yeah.
fighting a widow.
Wow.
You didn't realize that?
Yeah.
No, but, like,
I mean, that was a quick
it was
scene,
quick,
too.
and I
Yeah.
saw it, and I'd be like, no shit, she was
Yeah.
who are trained assassins. Like, fuck, man.
And I even looked it up. The actress
Woo.
that is in that moment that's fighting the extremist person from Iron Man 3, that actress was in Black Widow. She was one of the widows in Black Widow. So
Nice.
wow.
she is
That's
actually
even be-
a already
Thank you,
established
Marvel.
Black Widow character.
That's so cool.
Thank you.
So now when she pops up, it's like, oh, hey,
Yeah.
we know
Right.
you.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
Well, and I love that she built this empire and this, massive fight club. And so it made it that once she was able to put that bad bitch army together real fucking quick.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yes,
with
yes.
the
Truth.
quickness, I was impressed.
There is some
Oh.
hardcore bitches out there training, but when the
Hell
pan
yeah.
out, you're like, oh,
Oh.
and,
okay,
and her
okay.
little homeboy was still beside her too at
Yeah.
the end.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, the
Yeah,
dude
little
with the,
fucking
like,
dude.
crazy
Yeah,
hair.
oh god, I wanted to punch
What's that
him.
comedian's name? Like he's been around forever, but he was hilarious. I
He
loved
was.
him as just the hype man that was all about like getting all the MC.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
was fucking great.
That was
Mhm.
good. That was really good. This was put together so well.
It really was, and I think
mean-
we could probably wax poetic a little bit longer on this, but we do have to do our drunken scenes before we get out of
For
here.
sure.
Yeah, yeah.
So let's tie this little ribbon.
Dive into
on
the
the end of the
drunken
episode.
scene.
So-
We,
good.
we've got a few one-liners from the movie. There's not a whole lot out yet for the dialogue, so we've got stuff from and again, apologies for butchering some of these names that are very hard to pronounce, like Trevor.
I'll do Trevor.
Slattery.
Oh my god.
Trevor Slattery. I think.
Slattery.
Slattery. Is
That's
that was
English,
that was the
man.
one. Anybody that's listened to this long enough knows that even English is a challenge for
That's
me
true.
sometimes.
Very
So.
But I'll do
tenuous
Trevor.
grasp.
Yeah.
I'll do Trevor.
Dude.
You'll do Trevor? Okay.
I'll do Trevor. Yeah, let's
Then
have
we
some
got,
fun with Ben Kingsley, man.
Jiang Nan, is that or something closely to that? That's Michelle Yeoh's character, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the auntie.
And then Wenwu, and then Shang-Chi. So
I'll do Wen Wu.
Okay.
There's only two left, so you
Yeah.
gotta accept
Dealer's
Wu.
choice, whichever one you want.
I'll do Shang-Chi.
Okay.
So, yep.
Look at you taking.
You get the girl role.
I get the girl
Look at
character.
you.
Yeah,
taking a
Bickett's
star.
girlfriend. You do the girl.
Hey, I'll tell
I'll
you
do
what.
it. I'll do it really girly for you. How about
I'll
that?
tell you what. The fucking arm was badass.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh my
Who?
God, she always is.
Fucking crushed.
Michelle
Oh,
Yeoh
yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
amazing in everything, and also so hot. It's unreal. She's like 60 years old.
How is she so good at 60? Like I
know.
I want. Like I'm
Doing all
sorry,
the
like, I want to put my
choreography.
dick in her at
Bad
60.
ass.
I mean, is that wrong of me to say?
Not at
She's
all.
like, no, you're hot. Like, can we have fun?
I don't have a dick, and same.
Yeah,
Well, no,
right?
like, I want like a buddy cop movie where it's just like it's in Chinatown in San Francisco, and it's Michelle Yeoh and Ming-Na Wen, who's also about 60.
Yes.
Or somewhere
Fuck
close
yes.
to that. And she looks like she's like 32 years old.
Ming-Na Wen
The
is
next Cagney and Lacey.
Oh my God, yes! Fucking yes!
Oh, Ming-Na Wen is so. I'm sorry. Like I remember, like you look at, you go back to the original Mulan. She's the voice,
Yep.
and then but then
Right.
like you follow her through everything into
The Legend of Chun-Li.
Yeah,
Right?
she's such a
She
beautiful
did a Stargate
woman.
series.
She did. Oh,
Stargate Universe.
yeah. I'm saying that wasn't SG-1. It was Universe.
Universe.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then she came back and actually
Agents of
cameoed
S.H.I.E.L.D.
in the new Mulan, but she was
Right.
in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. as well.
Yeah.
Oh
for
well, yeah. Who could
HMA.
forget Agents of Shield?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And she was kicking ass.
Chef's kiss
God,
on her
oh,
character
yeah,
in
yeah.
that man. Fuck
God.
yes.
Sorry, she's
Okay.
she's such a beautiful woman.
Mhm.
Right. You should see how hard his dick is. Right
Yeah,
now.
right? It's-
I mean, he actually can see. 'cause
frightening.
He's
Yeah.
right there.
It's,
I mean,
it's weird that he's
it's
looking at me
peaking-
as he stacks his 10 rings on his dick. Like, this a lot.
Strength training never stops.
Yeah, really.
If you're a champion.
Can't stop, won't stop.
4,
So,
5, 6, 7, 8.
cock push-ups.
All right.
All right, Scotty, if you want to start us off with Trevor Slurderly.
Oh my God.
What the fuck?
Yes,
did you
you
just
are.
do?
I said that some of these names are really hard to pronounce, so
Slattery.
yeah.
Making a drunken scene.
My best Ben Kingsley here. Hold on. Yeah.
Yeah, Sir Ben. Let's
Sir
get
Ben.
your best Sir Ben,
Ben.
here.
I was hired to play a terrorist.
Wow.
I don't think that's.
Just let him.
Let him work.
And then turns out they were actually terrorists. The producer got blown up by Iron Man, and I was arrested.
That was
Mm.
top 4.
I thought it was Ben in the room. Sir Ben, excuse me.
Sir Ben.
I really thought he was
I
here.
thought it was Sir Ben.
I felt it.
I didn't feel any of that hidey ho of Trevor.
It was more
Shut
the
the fuck up
spirit,
and
I
read your
believe.
Yeah, yeah. I don't
Just
think
read your line.
Do you know accents? Do you know how
No.
accents work?
Have you looked at me?
I mean, you're pretty
sounded-
white.
you
It's a pretty,
sounded like-
it's a pretty basic accent for someone who's white.
No.
Yeah.
No.
You sounded like William Shatner trying to read lines of the Joker from The Dark Knight as slam poetry.
I'll take it. How much? And how much you want to bet I could still do a better album than he did?
Those are strong words, sir.
Fighting
Yeah.
words.
Wait until I do my version of Rocket Man.
I don't want to be around for that. It's fine. It's perfectly fine.
Read y'all's fucking lines. Get out.
All right, Amy,
All right.
you're next up. If you want to, hit your marks.
Hit my
your-
girly part.
Yeah, your girly parts.
Ooh.
Ooh. All right, we're going to do Valley Girl, Zhangnan.
Mm.
You are a product of all who came before you.
That's true.
The legacy of your family. You're your mother, and whether you like it or not, you are also your father.
Mm.
I'm my own dad.
I'm like,
Talk about some time paradox shit.
Right?
But I did see Michelle Yeoh doing that voice. Like I totally pictured it
Yeah,
in my
yeah.
head, like a little Bob.
She probably could. Let's
Oh,
be
she
fair.
totally
It was
Yeah.
a wasted opportunity,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but that's
True.
why I'm here to remind her.
Next up, we've got the big boss on campus, Wen Wu.
Mm. Let's see if I can do what I want to do right.
Oh,
I'm terrified.
I know.
I did in mocking you, Scotty, a better British accent than you did for your character. So you just shh.
Do you see the I don't give a shit look on my face?
That's how you always look.
I see it.
Well, because I don't give a shit.
I gave you 10 years
Mm-hmm.
to live your life. And where did that get you? You walked in my shadow. I trained you, so the most dangerous people in the world couldn't kill you.
Nice.
Lovely.
Nice.
Wonderful.
I was trying for Shredder,
Okay.
so I don't know if I really hit that.
I was getting more the what's his face, Cronin from Highlander.
Clancy Brown.
Clancy Brown. I was getting more
Okay,
Clancy
okay.
Brown.
I will take that.
Not an
I will
insult.
take that.
Yeah,
I will take that.
No.
But
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out a way because it was in reference to culture too. 'Cause
Yeah.
Sure.
the first two Turtles movies had Shredder.
Makes
but
sense.
it was his. I didn't want to be offensive, and the way
Yeah.
he talked too was very like over the top. It was
Right.
like these turtles. I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I appreciate the panel not having to be asked not to do a super racist Asian accent. I very
True.
much appreciate that.
I think we would have walked out by now.
Yeah.
You know.
I was just like,
Until this point, because I still got mine one.
oh, here
Oh,
we go.
no.
Here we go. The white,
right.
the white man. Well, I don't know. You and Scotty have like a tie.
There we go. For Shang-Chi is my my character here. So here we go. I thought I could change my name, start a new life, but I could never escape his shatter.
Good night, folks. Going home.
Thank you so much.
So that is it for this episode of Geeks Under the Influence. So thank you so much for sticking around for whatever that was. And definitely make sure to keep track with us on wherever you get your podcasts. Rate, review, subscribe, join the social media stuff that we're doing. All that's available at GUIPodcast.com. Make sure to check out Deeply Upsetting, Geekfathers, From the Mouths of Madness. I got a show called Smack My Pitch Up as well on this network. Check those out. Rate, review, subscribe. And we'll find you next time for another episode of Geeks Under the Influence. I'm Mike the Hobbit. Join us or die.
Shut the fuck up, Hobbit.
It's still good. It's still really good.
Join us or die. Join us or die. Or I will swallow your soul.
GUIPodcast.com.
I've had enough trouble with one. You're walking around with 10?